Violin trill exercises. If we haven't met, hi, I'm Megan. I'm a violinist and teacher. I've been playing the violin for over 20 years. I have my bachelor's and master's degrees in violin performance, and I'm Sevick trained. If you're enjoying my videos, please just take a quick second to make sure you're subscribed to my channel. It's easy, it's free, and it really helps me out. And if you're interested in working with me, you can check the description for all the different ways to do so. In this video, I'll be going over what trills are and giving you 5 different ways to practice them. Trills are ornaments, which means that trills are like a little decoration that composers like to throw in. Trills are very common. However, I would say they're most common in Baroque and classical music. Recognizing a trill in music notation is super simple. You'll see a note with the letters TR above it. And what a trill is you're just going back and forth between 2 notes as many times as you can within the note duration. You always trill to the note above the one that's written. So for example, if I had the note B with the TR written over it, I would trill to either a C natural or a C sharp depending on the key signature. So I would move back and forth between those 2 notes, B and C, as many times as I could within the note value. Sometimes you might see a TR with a little accidental by it, and that accidental applies to the note above the one that's written. So say I was playing in D major, which has 2 sharps, F sharp and C sharp. I came across the B trill. Normally I would trill between B and C sharp because that's what's in the key signature. However, if I see the little natural sign beside the trill, that tells me I need to trill to a C natural instead. Also, knowing how to approach the trill is crucial. In Baroque and classical music, not so much romantic and forward, but Baroque and classical music, so think like your Beethoven, your Bach, your Vivaldi. You always start the trill from the note above, unless the note before it is that note. So for example, for that B and C trill, I would start that trill on the note above. So C natural or C sharp, depending on the key signature, would be the first one that you would want to hear, like this. Okay, unless the note before that trill was that C. Okay, then I would start right on the trill, or right on the note that's written. This doesn't apply so much to romantic music forward. Typically, we just start the trill on the note. So a couple things to remember when you are playing trills. So first of all, you want to keep your trilling finger, so the finger that's moving, as close to the string as possible. Trills go very fast, right? And when you have something going very fast, every millisecond counts, right? So keep your trilling finger as close to the string as possible. Second, you need to make sure that your fingers are really on the tips. Obviously, this is just standard practice in violin playing, but especially important in trills, because if your fingers are more on the pads, it's going to sound muddy, it's going to sound unclear. So fingers on the tips is very important for trills. When you're trilling, you need to think more of the finger lifting up rather than pressing it down. So put more energy into lifting the finger up, because if you're working so hard to press the finger down, it's really likely that you're going to end up squeezing your hand, feeling super uncomfortable, having a slow trill, not being able to get many oscillations in. So focus more on lifting the finger up with a lot of energy rather than placing it down really hard. Finally, be very aware of your thumb. It's very easy to squeeze too much when you are doing trills. So if you find that happening, you can stop before or after the trill to wiggle your thumb to make sure that it is staying loose. All of the exercises that I am about to give you are aimed at building up the speed of your trill. We're going to be working through the metronome and essentially practicing in different note values that get faster and faster. So for exercise number 1, we are going to start with quarter notes, then move to 8th notes, and then to 16th notes. So each one of these is going to last 4 clicks, and I'm going to be just starting at 60 BPM, but obviously you can always increase the speed as you see fit. And all the exercise might sound like this. Similar to how how you would practice vibrato. Am I right? For exercise number 2, we are going to switch the rhythm up a little bit, and we are going to play an 8th note followed by 16th notes. So for the first beat of the metronome, we're going to play 1 8th note followed by 2 16th notes, and then we're going to make those 16th notes last for 3 clicks afterwards. Let me show you. Essentially, you're just giving that first note a little bit of extra time. 8th note followed by 16th note in the first click, then followed by 3 clicks of 16 notes. For exercise number 3, we are going to be practicing in dotted rhythms. So we're going to start with a dotted 8th, 16th. So that means the first note is going to be longer, right? It gets like about 3/4 of the beat, followed by the second note is going to be a little bit shorter, only about 1/4 of the beat. And then we're going to be doing dotted 16th notes 30 seconds, so essentially twice as fast. Let me show you. So this is the dotted 8th, 16th. So very, very short on the 16ths. And this is the dotted 16th, 30 second. For exercise number 4, we are going to be playing in groups of 6. So we're going to be moving back and forth between those 2 notes 6 times within 1 click of the metronome. And then the last exercise is 30-second notes. So we're going to be moving back and forth between those 2 notes 8 times within the click. That almost already sounds like a trill, right? So like I said, you can, of course, gradually speed this up with the metronome as you feel comfortable. But practicing in these rhythms is going to give you a lot of great variety. It's going to help your fingers learn how to move very quickly. And of course, gradually speeding it up with a metronome is going to help you build your overall speed. If you want more practice with trills, I'm going to leave the Sevick Trill Studies link in the description below. It's a full book, 28 pages on trill exercises, so that'll keep you busy for a while. If you have any questions about trills, drop them in the comments, and thank you so much for watching.